Well, welcome back to another video here on the channel. We finally got some news. Surprisingly, we got some news on the new Saw movie. Chris Rock teases this year's gory new Saw movie and promises only a sprinkle of humor. Gonna cut you off right there. I don't think me, or who's ever watching this, if you're a fan of Saw, and if you're a fan of Saw and you're also watching this, let me really know if you want a sprinkle of humor in your Saw movie. I don't. I want a new story. I want something different, and I want it to be no humor. But Chris Rock thinks it's needed. So he's Chris Rock, right? Um. So I'm gonna read this article. It says earlier, easily the most interesting horror movie news headed our way in 2020 is the return of Saw franchise, a new film that's from the mind of Chris Rock, directed by series mainstay Daniel. Um, Daniel. Now he has directed Saw 2, I believe. Yes, Saw 2. The new movie will also star Rock as a police officer detective, so he's probably like the comedy character. Um, Serious grisly crimes. See, that's the thing right there that gets me. The new movie will also star Chris Rock as a police detective investigating a series of grisly crimes with Samuel L. Jackson playing the father of Chris Rock's character. I remember when this news first came out, it was gonna be like the same thing we've seen and heard before. If they're really going to focus on the detective approach again, sell this franchise to another studio because Lionsgate doesn't know what to do with it. I know what to do with it. On paper, at least, this year's ninth installment in the franchise sounds very, very different from Saw movie in almost every way. Though Rock Promises is very much still Saw. But here's the thing: what is Saw to Chris Rock? Because he wants humor in it. And it's sounding like it's the same thing we've seen in the previous Saw films. I'm a huge Saw. I love the Saw franchise. I cannot wait to finish reviewing all of these films. And um, my favorite Saw movies are the first three, but let me continue. And if you're worried about it being overly comedy, have no fear. They're going to tell you any. I love Saw, but I was like, wow, it's almost no humor at all. So Chris Rock said, I love Saw, but I was like, wow, it was almost no humor at all. So it seemed like a good place, good foreground. By the way, the new Saw, I've seen like a rough cut. It's still Saw. It's bloody, it's gory, but there's a sprinkle of humor. Oh God, Rock just told IGN over the weekend, we're not revamping. It's not scary movie. It's Saw. I'm done. Again, I'm still hyped for this Saw movie. I'm staying positive, but now my positivity was here, but now it's kind of. It was here, but now it's kind of. Because, wow, it's almost no humor at all. Yes, there's no humor in the Saw movies. Because it's supposed to be gritty, dark, realistic. You're focusing on a story. You're focusing on the gore and the kills. That's mainly what the first three did. Was focus on story, then gore, and the realistic factor and not humor. I don't understand. Sometimes comedy is not needed in a horror movie. Sometimes it can hurt the movie or make the movie very split amongst the community. The film will offer fans worldwide new amped up level trench traps, clever clues, and the edges secrets. Okay, again, that's cool. Words was tearing hard. That's cool. But what I want a new story. I want a new story. And I don't want no humor. But we gotta have humor, right? Because Saul's gotta have. No. This upsets me. As a Saul fan, how much faith can I have in this movie now? And to be completely honest, I'm not being mean, but think about this. The only reason Chris Rock is doing a Saw movie is really to get some type of money in his pocket. Again, he may love the franchise, but you gotta think about something. Comedy movies aren't really selling. What's selling? Horror movies and superhero films. So every single body is trying to get their little. So everyone's trying to make a horror movie or a superhero movie. They don't care if it's going to be bad or good. They just want to do it, and the studios could be like, "Yes, make it for us," because the studio don't care. And yes, there may be some, again, you are having the longtime director who did Saw 2, I believe, and a few others. Okay, cool. But, and again, they're for franchise, I know, but do y'all remember a little film called Halloween Resurrection? The guy who directed Halloween Resurrection, he directed the original Halloween 2. The original Halloween 2 was a masterpiece. May not be my favorite Halloween movie, but it's a masterpiece. I think his name's Rick Rosenthal. Rick Rosenthal. I believe that's his name, right? He directed the original Halloween 2. Then he goes over to Halloween Resurrection, and look how garbage Halloween Resurrection is. We may be dealing with a Halloween Resurrection situation. Well, we have one of the best, I say second best director in this franchise. The best director in this franchise is James Wan. We got the second best director. He's a fan favorite, and he comes back. Everyone puts his faith into him, and come to find out, he never really had full creative control over it. He was just a director. You know, we may be dealing with a Halloween Resurrection situation here with this new Saw movie. I don't like the sprinkle of humor. What is a sprinkle to Chris Rock? Again, I'm not being mean, I'm not being rude, but you have to understand Chris Rock has not been doing a lot of movies. He has not had his foot in the door for a while. Comedy movies are not selling. I will repeat this. Horror movies and superhero films are selling. I'm not being mean to Chris Rock. He may be the biggest fan of Saw. I don't know. That may be his pastimes watching all these movies. I don't know. But the point that I'm making is Saw is not meant to have humor. you know, and if you're just going to rehash the same thing, all it's a police detective trying to figure out these murders, you're better off killing this franchise. I really love what they did in Jigsaw. People really hate on Jigsaw. I like what Jigsaw did. I think Jigsaw came out 2017, 2018, I believe. I love Jigsaw. Jigsaw, probably my third favorite in the whole franchise because Jigsaw, tried to do something different. He really went back to the roots of the first two, and it took itself a little bit more serious, and it had a surprising twist. Not and I'm gonna spoil it. John Kramer is in Jigsaw. He wasn't the surprising twist. We all kind of knew he was going to be in it, but and I like too the full focus was not on a detective solving these murders. Jigsaw really played that detective element. Yes, you had a detective in Jigsaw, but that was not the main focus. The main focus was these characters. And, you know, the main focus was the characters, the traps, the gore, and you as an audience member trying to figure out what's going on. That was the main focus. It seems like they're just going to go back to the same old formula and they're going to sprinkle some humor in there because that's the way you revamp a horror franchise is to just throw unnecessary comedy in there. I'm going to point something out. See the Chucky. That's all I'm going to say. Freddy's dead. Not all horror movies need comedy. If you want to make a comedy movie, go make a comedy movie. There's still some type of market out there for a comedy movie. Go and make one and leave Saw alone. I can be completely honest, this makes me a little bit angry. Again, I still have faith in this franchise. I'm still excited for this movie, but and so where's the promotion for this movie? Like I'm going a whole rant here because where's the promotion? What the promotion's going to start last minute? This is supposed to come out in May, right? Why have we got official poster or anything? This is stupid. You gotta have a sprinkle of humor. No, I'm not believing Chris Rock. or Lionsgate. Oh, it's just a sprinkle. Don't you worry. No, I'm not believing it. Because Chris Rock and Lionsgate aren't gonna tell you anything to put you in those seats. Yes, I'm still gonna go see it, sure. Like, yes, I want to see a Saw movie in the theaters. Considering this may be the last Saw movie they ever make, if it's terrible. Um, I just hope this Saw movie's good. Like, if you have comedy that doesn't fit, and it's the same thing, it's really feeling like a rehash, then this franchise, it it will be the final nail in the coffin. It will be it will be most certainly, most definitely, the final nail in the coffin for this franchise. It most certainly will be the final nail in the coffin. It will be the most certainly the final nail in the coffin. I just can't get over that. Like that whole sentence, guys. Look, I love Saul, but it was like, wow, it's almost no humor at all. So I guess Chris Rock don't know the Saw franchise because it's not meant to. So you really tell me Chris Rock sat there writing a script for Saw or whatever he was doing and said, "Oh well, I know a good way to revamp this franchise. Let's just put some comedy in there because that makes everything better, right?" I could name a lot of horror movies that have tried the comedy route and they failed. I have tried I can name a lot, and I'm sure you can as well. I can think of a lot of horror movies. They have did forced comedy, where the comedy is not needed, it's just there because they think it's smart. No, it's not. I can name a lot of movies. And two that I automatically go to is Seed of Chucky and Freddy's Dead. I can't even watch Freddy's Dead. I can't. I have not fully watched Freddy's Dead since 2010. I could be completely honest. I'm completely honest. I'm dead serious. I haven't seen Seed of Chucky for probably about 3 years. I'm seriously starting to think we're going to deal with a Halloween resurrection situation. I'm really thinking that's what we're going to have is a Halloween resurrection. Um, a Halloween resurrection. Um, a Halloween resurrection. Um, type of movie where you get one of the fan favorite directors back. We put all the trust into him, and then he gives us a garbage movie. I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to have a Halloween resurrection type of situation, and that's thing too that's really confusing. Where in the timeline is this in? Is it after Jigsaw? Okay, if it's after Jigsaw, where's John Kramer? Because you better not be casting John Kramer if this is connected to the same. See, that's the most confusing thing. And two, like Chris Rock don't seem like he knows anything about horror movies or how the remakes or like how horror remakes are supposed to be. Because if this is a connected movie, you have to have it connected to some type of movie in the franchise. Is it? I don't know. Is it in between 3 and 4? Um, Is it taking place after Jigsaw? Are we doing a Halloween 2018 approach where we, only keep the first one canon, which I think would be smart? Do we just keep the first? I think it'd be smart to just keep the first three canon. Do we keep the first three canon and or do we keep the first four canon, or do we, ignore the final chapter and Jigsaw? Where in the timeline does this fit in? Is it a reboot? Because if it's a reboot, because that's the thing. If I'm sitting in, because when I go see this in the theaters, and I don't see no John Kramer, it has no connective tissue to Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw 3, then it will not be a sequel. It's got to have some type of connective tissue to be in the timeline. You coming out and saying it's going to be a sprinkle of humor, yeah, that's what we want to hear. No, we don't. We want to hear when it's going to be in the timeline. This, I don't know how. Humor in a Saw movie, okay. I mean, for some reason, we had to get, just basically a spoof and Seed of Chucky. I guess that's what we'll get here. I don't know. Lionsgate doesn't know what to do with this franchise anymore. I'd be completely honest with you. But yeah, let me know how you feel about this. If you did enjoy the video, hit that like button. If you're first down, you hit that subscribe button. Yeah, until next time. Please let me know how you feel about this, cause I ain't feeling no sprinkle of humor.